Okay, so this is part two. I have to say also, first of all, I'm recording in a dark room, and so that's why you see black screen. And I'm recording in a dark room because in Syria, actually, we have electricity is scarce. We don't have it 24 hours a day, except if you can pay more, like expensive prices for your own generator and stuff. Um, and the reason this brings me to something I want to say. Why is this happening in Syria? Even though Syria is the country that is richest in fuel and in gas, it's the richest country in fuel and in gas, one of the richest. I mean, um, and recently it's even been discovered they have like the largest gas something. Anyways, and the reason is because people don't love each other, because people can't get along. Not the people I know, because I live in Damascus and it's the capital. The major cities, people are more like they're not like other people in some rural areas who have been taken advantage of and they've been given weapons to fight each other. That's another story. But I think this war that's happening right now, like there's war in so many countries everywhere. Not everywhere, but there's turbulence and war and issues arising all around the globe. And the reason is what I said in part one. It's because we need to find that bridge between inside ourselves first, between the east and the west, between the left brain and the right brain. We need to find our inner feminine energy and nurture it and give it a voice. We need to give the benefit of the doubt more often, to try and see things differently and not just take the first reaction that comes to mind. And by the way, I was not defending Jared or Two Faced. I would have boycotted probably Two-Faced. I don't know, but probably, I don't know, because of what I heard in the video being told about Two-Faced. But I don't live in the USA and I don't have access to this brand. So I'm not defending anyone. I just do not like. I do not like the attitude that I see online, um, coming out of so many people towards each other, toward influencers judging each other, and people judging people because they posted something and you interpret it a certain way, so you judge it. But it's always about how you look at it, or most of the time it is, maybe not always. But I mean, I don't know. Even when you're pissed off, try not to give it too much importance. Try not to give it too much of your energy when you're pissed off of something, pissed off about something. uh, I think, because otherwise, like, I just, like, I'm always this channel, the Gen Love channel. I want to watch it, but I always also feel at the same time I'm apprehensive. I don't want to watch it because of so much judgment that she makes. I feel like I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to listen to those to her, to the judgments she makes so often. So because I don't want that energy to be, I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to be like listening to it. But at the same time, I think her channel is interesting because it's the only one, I think, one of a kind, because it brings uh, news that I don't see in one place. Uh, and even though I'm not American, so it's not every piece of news that interests me. But so I think she has potential. I like the idea of her channel. I just don't like her attitude and how much she judges, but for each his own. So that's for those who want to tell me not to watch her channel. I try not to, like, sometimes I don't feel like it. I skip it, but then I go back to it, especially if YouTube recommends it again. Anyways, that's one thing. I wanted to say. So I've cleared out the part about, I cleared out for everyone the part about me not actually shading Western society or Western ways. No, I think there are very good things, important and necessary things for us Easterners to learn from the West, from the Western ways. And if we don't, we are doomed. But so is the West, though. I mean, we need each other. We need those two opposite parts of the globe, of the world, of the brain to be bridged. So I have to emphasize that part. I love so many things about Canada and about Germany because those are the places that I've been to in the West. And there are so many things I also love about Syria. Um, and I just wish, I really wish we could be without any war, loving each other and one world. And for this to happen, like I said, we have to do our inner work, and that's all I want to say. Also about the issue where I mentioned Semitism, I mentioned it because I'm very sad today and angry when I see people say anti-Semitism and use the terminology incorrectly because of certain brainwashing that has happened. So, but it's not because the real Semites are not who Westerners think Semites are. And that doesn't mean at all that Semitic people are in any way better than Eastern Europeans or Caucasians. Actually, it's in many ways it's the opposite. White people or Caucasians or whatever, Eastern Europeans are in many ways more better than Semitic Canaanites, which are the people of the Levant, or Semitic Arabs or Arabs in general, whatever you want to call this group of people in this area. Um, in many ways, we need to learn from them. Okay, in many ways, they're more organized. They're like I said, but also Arabs and also Easterners in a more broader sense. And E- Arabs are even like different than Easterners in a way, but we have a long way to go as Arabs, long way to go. And it's also unfortunate that we see this playing out all around the world. This chaos, this fragmentation, this. Anyways, so what I'm saying is simply that we can live together. It doesn't matter where you're from. You could be an Eastern European Jew and you can live with me. Uh, we could even be roommates and I could be your best friend. I could even marry you. I don't mind, you know. So I think we can all be citizens of one world. We don't even need countries. We don't need those lines that separate countries. It's just that I was trying to make this clear that um, that what people, if you dig deep, I'm not gonna speak too much about it because of the censor, and then there's a ship. You know the word. So if you dig deeper, though, you see that there's so much misunderstanding, and I just wanted to make that point clear. But in no way am I a religious person. I am spiritual but not religious. In no way do I think that religions need to separate us. Unfortunately, in Syria, in many places, for so many people, it's true, they are sectarian. They have a sectarian mentality, even towards each other, more than towards people of other religion. I mean, people of the same religion towards each other as sects. And this is very, very sad. We see this playing out. Like I said, I don't see any of that in my world, in my immediate surrounding, and that's I don't want to see that. But it does exist. I see it on the media, on social media, like you guys do sometimes. Even though I live in Syria, but I don't see that. I see it on social media. So yeah, it must exist. I also hear people saying things, yeah, some stuff like here and there, but that's all. So yeah, now in the US also some issues are arising and problems, and so it's all because of the mind. We have different minds, but we are all the same inside, at the core, in our heart. And that's what we need to focus on. That's how we need to look at each other. That's how we can be less judgmental toward each other. And we need to start there. And I really want to live with the Jews and the Christians and the Buddhists and the atheists and the atheists. I'm not sure how this is pronounced, how this word in particular. I was raised in Montreal, so I spoke French, rather, not English. Yeah, so yeah, I want to live with all those people from all those religions and races and DNA. I want to live with them on this land, in the Middle East or the Levant, in Syria, if they want to come to Syria. I think they should be welcome. I think we should all live together if we want to, or anywhere else, whether here or anywhere else. So I think everyone should be welcome. But we also need to respect each other, of course, as long as we don't harm each other, as long as we don't steal each other's home or each other's lands, then we are, because there's plenty of room for everyone. There's enough for everyone. There's enough to go around for everyone on this earth. So I think this is what matters. And I wish that my people, the Syrian people, would be more tolerant, more compassionate towards each other and towards people of other races or religions. And so, like I said, I am not saying that Semitic people are better because they're Semitic, not at all. In many ways, this is the farthest thing from the truth, the farthest thing from being the truth. And in many ways, there is nothing really 100% this or that. Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to say that. I think we're all one, regardless of anything, regardless of our DNA, because it doesn't define us. Nothing defines us except our humanity and the compassion we have in our heart and how much we extend that to others and give that to others. I wish the best for everyone, and I want to have friends from all around the world. Yeah, I hope so one day. And that's all I wanted to say. So I'm repeating myself now. I'll stop here.